GenCon 2016. I'm here with Roberto from Ares. He has agreed to give us a quick preview of the games that they're presenting here for the first time. Thank you, Roberto.
Thank you, Marco. So here we go. So we have several new things here at the show this year, and okay, let's start with one of the most awaited ones, which is Warriors of Middle-earth. This is the new expansion for War of the Ring. It's an expansion which includes several new miniatures, which expands the scope and the role in the game of the various, we call them factions, various, say, non-human entities which help the Shadow and the Free Peoples. So we will have the Eagles, the Spiders, the Dead Men of Donaro, the Ants, and some human allies of the Shadow like the Corsairs and the Dolandings. So all these new type of units, new type of figures are now featured in a more important way in the game than they were before, thanks to the inclusion of special event cards which are focused around them, a new kind of action dice which is called a faction dice, and of course a lot of faction figures.
Can you see the back of the box so we get a better sense of what's in it, or at least of some of the components?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's 48 figures plus the deck of cards plus the new action dice for both the Free Peoples and the Shadow. And here at the show we will give free, together with any copy of Warriors of Middle-earth, the mini set of promo cards called Tidings Not Burdens, which is linked to the role of the Eagles faction in the game. So these are promo cards because they have sort of a, say, devastating effect on the game, so they really do what the Eagles are supposed to do in the story. A lot of people ask, what if the ring bearers got the help of the Eagles? These cards answer the question, and also answer the question of why maybe it's not a good idea. So it's one card. I won't spoil them yet, but it's one card for the Shadow and one card for the Free Peoples, but they are really game breaking.
They're really intense.
Yeah.
And I see you have a peculiar hat on your head. Just
yes.
because there's so much sun here, or something else? Yeah. So what's with that?
So this is okay, sort of. This is what our demo guy will wear when playing last Friday. Last Friday is. It seems there's a lot of buzz around this game. It's a deduction, hidden movement, horror game. Which puts you either in the role of a maniac or in the role of one of several campers which are trying to escape from the maniac in the first moment, and in the subsequent chapters of the game, actually the roles reverse. So while in the beginning the maniac is chasing the campers, then after a while the campers gather some courage and then decide to go after the maniac.
Nice.
I think that the very interesting flip on the typical situation with hidden movement games is that on all hidden movement games until now you have the person who's hiding is actually escaping away from all the other players, from Scotland Yard and all the other followers. In this game, the fact that the person who's hiding is actually after you makes it's really very thrilling.
Yeah, that seems to capture the thing quite well.
Yes.
So basically the maniac will pop out of nowhere when you least expect him and start slaughtering people.
Yes, and the fact that you have clues make this really scary, because when you realize, okay, the maniac was there a few minutes ago, and then now where he can be, and you realize that he could be just behind your back.
Nice.
That's really thrilling moment. And again, here at the show we will have a promo card, which is Booby, it can be used to replace one of the campers. You may see some similarity with cartoon characters, but that's completely accidental, of course.
Yeah, I can imagine, right? I mean, what are the odds that it will look like that famous dog from that famous TV show?
And from the same authors as last Friday, after the first game was a Stay Away, which is a game, it's a hidden role game where one player essentially plays the Thing. It's a horrible entity which is trying to
Oh, the
infect
Thing from the Thing, the movie The
from
Thing.
The Thing. Yeah, sort of that thing.
Oh yeah, for copyright reasons, it's sort of that
Sort
thing.
of
You're
the
right.
thing.
You're right.
It's a thingy thing, but not the thing. And
It's one of those things. Yeah, I get it.
and he's trying to infect all the other players, which are starting the game as humans, but soon may become something different than human. It's a game which works well with larger parties, so it's really funny and also a little bit scary when you realize that the player behind you might not be what he looks like it is.
And this is based on the same idea of hidden movement on the part of the hunter, or
No,
is there
this
movement?
This is hidden roles, in fact.
Got it.
So it's purely a card game, and in this game, so you will play with a hand of cards, trying to, with those cards, either to infect the other players, trying to find out who the other players are, and trying to protect yourself from being infected. So it's a hidden role card game. This is the first edition of the game. It was never distributed to the US except through their Kickstarter. So we now got hold of the last batch remaining of the first edition copies. In 2017 we plan to print a revised edition, but here's at the show there's a chance to get these little less known games, but from the same great team which created last Friday. And that's not over yet. So we also have
more goodness.
A little more, yeah. Behind the Throne. Behind the Throne is a game from the same authors of Mysterium. So it's, even if it's quite a different game, this is a very simple but deep card game, which is driven by a push your luck mechanic when you draw the cards. What you're trying is to get the control of a set of characters, each character with his own special power, and trying to manipulate these characters, which allow you to improve the way you draw cards, but also to interact with other players, destroy their cards, steal their cards. You are trying to become the power behind the throne, the one which is really pulling the strings over the court.
Can we see the back?
Yeah, sure. It's 9 different kind of characters, and each character will bring a special power, and only the player who controls the highest number of cards of that type, he's a controller of the power of that character. So it's a push your luck set collection game, very simple, very smooth, but very deep to play.
Excellent. And I see that you also have some new stuff for your flagship game, Wings of Glory.
Wings of Glory, yes. This is at the Origins. We had the debut of several new World War WW2 planes. Here we have the release of a new wave of WW1 planes, including some which are really people have been waiting for a long time, like the new Port 11, which is of course
which one?
This one. And Wings of Glory is still a range that we care for a lot, and apart from expanding this with these new airplane models, we also introduced 2 new game mats for our popular range of game mats. So this is the No Man's Land. A lot of people were asking for something to represent the ravaged battlefields of World War I with trenches, and so this is it, barren landscape.
Very thematic, very evocative.
Yes. And the other game mat is very suitable to be played both for World War I and World War II, because it represents one of the industrial cities in the western part of Germany, which was actually the target of bombings during both wars. So we essentially modeled the landscape across a typical industrial city in the German world.
Excellent. Just some last quick look at the models. Thank you very much, Roberto, for this entertaining as well as instructional and very informative video.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're very excited about the GenCon. Good luck for everything. Next couple of days, I know they're going to be intense, but I'll stop by and try to have a closer look at some of your games.
Thank you, and we invite everybody to do the same.
Thank you. And yes, GenCon 2016, this was from the booth of Ares, close to the K entrance,
Yes,
in case
number
you're looking for
141.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.